When I first started thinking seriously about retirement, the idea of investing even a fraction of $2 million seemed daunting. But as I dug deeper into the world of finance, I realized that with the right approach, investing for retirement doesn't have to be complicated or scary. In this video, I'm going to share how I would personally invest $2 million for retirement, based on what I've learned over the years. I'll walk you through the strategies that make sense to me, from diversifying across different asset classes to focusing on long-term growth, and the tax work it includes. And because I know how overwhelming it can be, I'll keep things light, straightforward, and easy to understand. In the end, I will show you how you can earn $100,000 in annual income while growing your investment from the very first year. Of course, every situation is unique, so while I'm sharing my journey, I will help you assess your goals and how to reach them. Before you start investing $2 million for retirement, it's important to take a good look at your current financial situation. This might not be the most exciting step, but it's crucial for making smart investment choices that align with your long-term goals. First, review your income and expenses. Do you know exactly how much money you're bringing in and spending each month? This includes your salary, other income sources, and regular bills like rent, utilities, and groceries. Understanding your cash flow helps you figure out how much of that $2 million you can afford to invest without impacting your daily life, and how much you want to earn from your investment in order to keep your life hassle-free. Next, consider any debts you have, like a mortgage, car loans, or credit card balances. High-interest debt, in particular, should be paid off before making big investments. Why? Because the interest you save by paying off debt often outweighs the returns you'd get from investing. For example, paying off a credit card with 18% interest is like getting a guaranteed 18% return. Once you've got your income, expenses, and debts under control, make sure you have a solid emergency fund, typically 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a savings account. This ensures you won't need to dip into your $2 million if something unexpected happens. Finally, think about your comfort with risk in your retirement goals. Are you okay with market ups and downs, or do you prefer safer investments? What do you want your retirement to look like? Understanding these factors will guide you in how you invest your $2 million to meet your needs. Now that you have a clear understanding of your financial situation, let's talk about how to put that $2 million to work. The key to a successful retirement investment strategy is choosing the right investment options that align with your goals, your risk tolerance, and your need to generate sustainable income. One of the most popular and effective options out there, and my favorite, is the FXAIX fund. The FXAIX fund, which is Fidelity's 500 index fund, is a low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500. This means that when you invest in FXAIX, you're essentially buying a small piece of 500 of the largest companies in the United States, including giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. The S&P 500 has historically provided strong returns over the long term, making it a solid choice for retirement investing. So why choose FXAIX for your $2 million investment? First off, it's low cost. One of the biggest drags on your investment returns can be fees, but with FXAIX, the expense ratio is just 0.02%. That's incredibly low, which means more of your money stays invested and working for you. On top of that, it offers diversification. By investing in the S&P 500 through FXAIX, you're spreading your money across a wide range of industries, reducing your risk compared to putting all your money in a single stock or sector. Let's dig into some numbers. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned about 7% annually after adjusting for inflation. If we assume a similar return moving forward, your $2 million investment in FXAIX could potentially grow by about $140,000 each year. But remember, these are average returns over the long term. Some years will be better and some will be worse. One of the big advantages of investing in FXAIX is the dividend income it generates. The S&P 500 typically has a dividend yield of around 2%, which means that for your $2 million investment, you could expect about $40,000 in dividend income each year. This is money that gets paid out to you without having to sell any of your investments. Essentially, it's a way to generate income without letting your principal continue to grow. Now, let's think about how FXAIX fits into the broader goal of generating $100,000 in annual income without depleting your principal. You've already got $40,000 coming in from dividends, which is a great start. The next step involves strategically withdrawing a portion of your portfolio each year, typically around 3%, to make up the rest. The 3% rule is a conservative approach to withdrawing money from your portfolio, aimed at ensuring you don't run out of money during retirement. If you withdraw 3% of your $2 million portfolio, that's another $60,000, bringing your total annual income to $100,000 when combined with your dividends. But here's where things get even better. The average return of the S&P 500, and thus the FXAIX fund, is about 7% per year. Since you're only withdrawing 3%, the remaining 97% of the portfolio continues to grow by approximately 4% annually, which is the 7% return minus the 3% withdrawal. Let's break this down further. After you withdraw 3%, your portfolio will have $1.94 million left, assuming the market grows by 7%. This $1.94 million would increase by about $135,800 over the year. So at the end of the year, your portfolio would grow from $1.94 million to approximately $2,075,800. Even after withdrawing $60,000, your portfolio is still growing, reaching about $2,075,800 by the end of the year. This shows how you can meet your $100,000 income goal while allowing your investment to continue increasing in value over time. As you start building your retirement strategy, one of the most important aspects to consider is how taxes will impact your investment income. This is where tax-efficient investing comes into play, especially when you're aiming to generate steady income of $100,000 a year from your $2 million portfolio. The good news is that with a little planning, you can keep more of your money by staying mindful of how taxes affect your dividends and capital gains. Let's begin with dividends, which, as we discussed earlier, could bring in about $40,000 annually from your investment in the FXAIX fund. Now, not all dividends are taxed the same. The dividends you'll receive from FXAIX are considered qualified dividends, which are taxed at a lower rate than ordinary income. As a single filer, you can benefit from current tax brackets on qualified dividends. Here's how it works. If your total taxable income, including your dividends and any other income, stays under $47,025, you won't owe any federal taxes on those dividends at all. That's right, a 0% tax rate. But if your income falls between $47,026 and $518,900, your qualified dividends will be taxed at 15%. And if your income exceeds $518,901, you'll be in the 20% tax bracket for those dividends. For example, let's say your total taxable income for the year, including the $40,000 from dividends and any other income, is $100,000. This places you in the 0% tax bracket for dividends, meaning you'd owe $0 in taxes on that $40,000. Next, let's talk about the 3% rule, which involves selling 3% of your portfolio each year. For your $2 million investment, this amounts to $60,000 annually. The good news is that if you've held these investments for more than a year, the profits from selling them will be taxed as long-term capital gains, which are also taxed at lower rates than ordinary income. The tax brackets for long-term capital gains are the same as those for qualified dividends, 0%, 15%, and 20%, depending on your total taxable income. So in the same scenario, where your taxable income is $100,000, the $60,000 from selling part of your portfolio would also be taxed at 15%, which means you'd owe $9,000 in taxes on this portion. When you add it all up, the $0 in taxes on your dividends and $9,000 in taxes on your capital gains, you're looking at about $9,000 in total taxes for the year. This leaves you with $91,000 in after-tax income from your $100,000 withdrawal strategy. But the best part is that you can continue getting $100,000 income every year by repeating the same strategy. And still, you will keep your value on that $2 million. In fact, it would grow by 4% each year even after withdrawal. Not bad, but the aim is to optimize this as much as possible. One way to do this is by being strategic about your income and how much you want to withdraw each year. If you can keep your taxable income lower by adjusting the amount you withdraw from your investments, you might be able to stay in a lower tax bracket and pay less in taxes overall. This might involve timing when you take distributions, or even considering Roth IRA conversions if they make sense for your situation. Another key point is to take advantage of tax-advantaged accounts whenever possible. For instance, if you have the opportunity to invest in a Roth IRA, the money grows tax-free, and qualified withdrawals are tax-free in retirement. This could be a handy tool for minimizing your tax liability and maximizing your after-tax income. The key to long-term portfolio management is discipline. You've already seen how the 3% withdrawal rule, combined with dividend income from the FXAIX fund, can provide a reliable income stream. But what really makes this strategy powerful is your ability to leave the majority of your portfolio, 97% of it, untouched. This allows your investment to continue compounding over time. Compounding is like your portfolio's secret weapon. As the market grows, so does your investment. And this growth isn't just on the original $2 million, but also on the returns that your investment generates each year. After 1 year, it will be valued at $2,048,800. After 10 years, it will be valued at $2,916,081. After 20 years, $4,316,513, and after 30 years, $6,389,493. Want to know how to turn a $25 per week investment into a portfolio that pays over $5,000 a month? Click the video on the screen to find out.